This is Teddy Roosevelt National Park. Theodore Roosevelt National Park. The man himself was also known as TR. He was the 26th President of the United States and one of the more fascinating characters of American history. Born in New York in 1858, TR was a politician, of course, but also a staunch conservationist, a colonel in the Spanish-American War, a Harvard-educated author, historian, and by all accounts, a gregarious, vivacious, and larger-than-life man. He won the Nobel Peace Prize for helping end the Russo-Japanese War and almost single-handedly got the Panama Canal started. I mean, not with a literal shovel, a figurative shovel, and a dash of rampant imperialism. But that's deeper than we need to get into in a video about pretty landscapes. Even a cursory glance of Roosevelt's accomplishments makes one wonder how anyone had the time to do so much. Even in an era with no YouTube rabbit holes and episodes of Ted Lasso to binge, he comes across as a non-stop locomotive of energy. At least some of that energy came from coffee. It's said he drank upwards of a gallon a day from a mug most people mistook as a soup bowl. Well, that would probably do it. Roosevelt was my age when he became president, still the youngest ever. President McKinley was shot only a few months into his second term, and TR assumed the office of the president. In 1904, he was elected in his own right for a full term, effectively his second. Despite being lauded as a Republican by many in the modern Republican Party, his politics would put him to the left of the modern Democratic Party. He was pro-conservation, regulation, taxes on the rich, protections for workers and labor unions, and more. He left the Republican Party and founded his own, called the Progressive Party, which split the vote in 1912, leading to Woodrow Wilson's victory. Try to say Woodrow Wilson a few times fast. Another thing happened in 1912 that is probably the most legendary thing that happened to Roosevelt. While on the campaign trail, he was shot point blank in the chest. The bullet passed through his glasses case and a folded copy of his 50-page speech. He then took the podium and gave a 90-minute speech while blood soaked through his shirt. After the speech and finally getting medical attention, the doctors concluded it was safer to just leave the bullet in, which they did, and he had it with him for the rest of his life. He died in his sleep 7 years later. Thomas Marshall, the vice president at the time, said death had to take Roosevelt sleeping, for if he had been awake, there would have been a fight. He was also, perhaps unexpectedly, a skilled and prolific writer. He even made money writing, something I can certainly relate to. He wrote history books, including a biography of Oliver Cromwell, several memoirs, and even travel guidebooks. But his biggest passion, of course, was nature. While president, he established the U.S. Forest Service, established 150 national forests and 5 national parks, though not the one that bears his name. Theodore Roosevelt National Park was established in 1978, and is the only national park named directly after an individual. It covers 70,000 acres of western North Dakota and includes Elkhorn Ranch, which was founded by the man himself, and where he spent time after his wife and mother died on the same day. It is, as you've been seeing, quite stunning. It combines the shapes and colors of the Badlands with the greens and rolling pastures of the Great Plains. The muddy Little Missouri River winds its way through the park, carving ever deeper. Its lesser popularity is a benefit this year, lacking the crowds of the other national parks I visited. A leisurely drive reveals scenic views and hiking trails, some of which I checked out. The blistering heat of the hottest summer on record, even this far north, kept me from exploring too much on foot. One particular standout, something rare to see anywhere, and especially a national park, is all the bison. Herds roam freely, sometimes getting close to the roads and paths, other times only visible with a sharp eye off in the distance. When it's quiet, and you're away from the other visitors, you can see what TR meant when he described this area as an abode of iron desolation. For me, though, it's time to move on. Eastward now for the first time, into states with more and more people. The adventure continues. See you next time.